The Chunin exams arc is very ambitious to say the least. It's said that Kishimoto wanted to introduce the characters slowly over other arcs before doing a tournament-style arc, but his editor and team advised him that he should quickly ramp up the story. In this video, you'll hear my thoughts as I rewatch this arc. My observations, different things that I noticed. Previously, I did a video on the Land of Waves arc, the first arc of Naruto, so if you haven't seen that, and let me just say, yes, this video does contain spoilers, so if you haven't seen the full story of Naruto, just be aware. Okay, let's get started. Why would this arc start like this? The team dynamic of Team 7 is worse than it was in the first arc, but I understand why. Naruto is upset because he's still thinking about the moments where Sasuke did better than him. And Sasuke is upset because he's thinking about how there's other ninjas out there who have more experience and strength than he does. And Sakura is upset because it comes to her attention that she has done nothing combat-wise in the first arc. So while these tensions are high, the Sand siblings make quite an introduction. Once again, the third Hokage starts this arc as a questionable leader. The Chunin exams only being a week away is crazy. They just got back from the Land of Waves mission, cause it seemed like this would have been planned even before the mission. The other villages would have needed travel time to even get to the Leaf Village, so it's obvious that he told other villages before he told his own village. And also story-wise, they were only getting for one arc. Now they have a chance at being Chunin. A missed opportunity is Team 7 never getting a rival squad that they deserved. The closest thing we get is the Sand siblings, but Gaara soaks up so much of the attention that it's not really a one-to-one match. Kankuro's rivalry with Naruto is more comedic, and Sakura doesn't even really have a rivalry with Temari. They don't fight. Naruto and Kankuro don't fight. Maybe it would have been a better thing to do in another arc, but yeah, just have a one-to-one matchup for Team 7. We wouldn't get a one-to-one matchup type of thing until much later, and it's not for Team 7. Do you remember when Kakashi sunned Iruka in front of everybody? Iruka tried standing his ground too. Iruka should have just waited until afterward to complain to the third Hokage like he did last time. And I think Kakashi heard about that too. That's why he checked him this time. Even Kurenai was like, yo, chill Kakashi, chill. But we already know that Kakashi is clapback king. And also, did you notice that Guy was here the whole time? Do you remember how Guy's team was first introduced? These guys were super confident aura farmers. And then, the next time we see them, Rock Lee is getting smacked around. Imagine seeing this for the first time, like, wait, didn't they just hype them up 2 seconds ago? But wait, that was a fake out. Like, the length that they went to keep their abilities a secret from everybody is crazy. They let themselves get knocked down, both Rock Lee and Tenten. But the real question is, since they were faking it, did they also recognize the Genjutsu in this scene? Or was Team 7 more skilled in recognizing it? Do you remember when Team 7 was humbled? They must have been on an all-time high after completing the Land of Waves mission. So when Rock Lee challenges Sasuke, Naruto steps up first and gets one-shotted instantly. And then Sasuke, fresh off awakening his Sharingan, takes the fight seriously. But then he gets humbled twice. And it's crazy because the Sharingan was his big power-up from the last arc. Sakura goes from fangirling over Sasuke's Sharingan to catching Sasuke's body as he falls across the room. And then Guy shows up and announces he's stronger and faster than Kakashi. The same Kakashi that Team 7 thought was untouchable. And then when you think that Lee is the top student, he casually just says, actually, he's not even the top student. Neji is. Also, it's funny that Naruto was pushing Sasuke's buttons about not beating Lee, but Naruto didn't do any better. I don't care what anyone says, I don't think Kabuto was Orochimaru's right-hand man at this point. One reason is that he took the Chunin exams for 4 years in a row, which had to mean that his only job was to take the exams and collect data for Orochimaru. The other reason is that the Sound Ninja don't know who he is at all. They even attack him for what he said about their village. If Kabuto was the right-hand man, they would probably know him. This part was always weird because why did he let himself get affected by that attack? Because he complains about it later. I know this is not controversial, but the written test shows that Sasuke had better ninja instinct and better comprehension than Naruto and Sakura. Now, the idea of cheating does cross all of their minds, but Sasuke is the only one who actually comprehends that that's the point of the test, is to show their skills of cheating, their skills of being covert. Sakura has the thought, but then quickly denies that idea. Naruto has the thought, but doesn't want to risk his place in the Chunin exam. Sasuke is the only one who fully understands why the test is there. Do you remember when Team 8 did immediately better than Team 7? It's true, when the second test started, they immediately got to business. And it was honestly light work for them. They set up traps for other teams to fall into. A team from the Hidden Rain village got caught by leeches in the environment, which was a part of Team 8's trap. And then the next part of their trap was a classic trip net. And then Team 8 got their scroll. You know, you could say that they ate with that one. Yeah.
Here's something you probably didn't know. The identity of the two guys who were helping Orochimaru during the Chunin exams. At first, I really thought that they were the two snakes that we saw during the fight against Orochimaru. But in actuality, the anime leads us to a real answer. During one of the flashbacks in the Sasuke retrieval arc, we see that the Sound Four were actually present during the Chunin exams. So we can assume that one of these guys helped Orochimaru and took their identity during this time. So yeah, these two team members were actually two people out of the Sound Four.
Do you remember when Orochimaru first went up against Team 7 in the Chunin exams? This is the first time that Sakura and Sasuke see Naruto tap into Nine Tails' power. But I also think it's interesting Orochimaru stops Naruto's ability to get power from the Nine Tails. It's like he knows that if this continues, he might not be able to control the outcome. It's just interesting because, okay, you're saying that you're not ready to take on the Nine Tails right now, but in Shippuden, you're fully ready to just take on the Nine Tails and like fight him during his four-tailed beast mode. But I get it, he had different goals in mind in both those moments. Have you ever noticed these two things about Orochimaru's fight against Team 7? Orochimaru limits Naruto's ability to access the Nine Tails chakra, while he gives Sasuke the curse mark, something that is supposed to enhance his power. This is another example of the parallel storytelling of Naruto and Sasuke. Once something happens to one character, a similar or opposite thing will happen to the other character. Also, if you ever wondered why Orochimaru's destroyed their scroll, it was because he had the other scroll, but he wasn't really participating in the exam. So in order for it to be an even number of scrolls again, he had to destroy theirs and his. Did you notice that after OG Naruto, the whole crush that Rock Lee has on Sakura just goes away? In Shippuden, Rock Lee was just not focused on. But that means that plot points like Rock Lee having a crush on Sakura, him defending Sakura in this moment, things like this just don't get any continuation. Even later in OG Naruto, when Sakura cares for Rock Lee and sees him and visits him in the hospital, like there's very little trace of these plot points in Shippuden for Rock Lee and his character. Not saying that he should end up with Sakura, but it was a plot point at some point.
I know this is controversial, but this scene is not as bad as y'all say it is. Everyone's saying, oh, she should have used the kunai to strike her. That's not the point. If she wanted to use the kunai on her, she would have used the kunai on her. She actually used the kunai on Zaku. Her doing that was not going to drastically change the outcome of the situation. The point of this was, hey, her hair is a weakness, so she's going to sacrifice her hair. This way, she doesn't have this weakness in battle again. That is the point. Her character arc was about helping the team. Letting go of her hair took a disadvantage away.
Do you notice what the Sound Ninja represent in this arc? There's an ideology clash here in a few ways. First, I would say it's traditional versus experimental/new. Zaku brags about how his jutsu is the jutsu of the future, and he talks about Rock Lee's jutsu as if it's some relic from the past. Now, considering the jutsus we'd see later on in the series, that line is very laughable. And the other ideology clash is the fact that the Sound Ninja will do anything to win. They even go as far as to attack their own teammate. That's something that's different from the Leaf Village. And honestly, this was also a peek into Orochimaru's ideology as well. Do you notice this in Naruto? Whenever Naruto or Sasuke get a power-up or an enhancement, the other character is just unconscious
and unaware of the other person having that power-up.
When Naruto first used the Nine Tails, Sasuke was unconscious. When Sasuke first used the power of the curse mark, Naruto is unconscious. It's not until the Sasuke retrieval arc where they both know that, oh, you have some extra power as well. That explains a lot. And that's crazy because I'm pretty sure they realized that in battle. I don't care what anyone says, the chemistry between the Genin 12 was just great from the start. When we're not looking at cool fights, these interactions is what really shines through this Chunin exams arc. Whether it's Shikamaru and Shoji roasting Naruto, interactions between Rock Lee and Sakura, or Rock Lee and Tenten, or Sakura and Ino's slick remarks. And it's great because these interactions just build on this foundation, and as these characters are going through these traumatic things together, their bonds are getting closer with each other. And just to think, they'll be fighting a war together later down the line too. Have you noticed this about these Rain Ninja? They were of course sent to the Chunin exams by the leader of their village. But who was the leader during this time? Was it Pain or was it Hanzo? Or what about these Rain Ninja that go up against Team 7? It's really funny how they go up against the two Jinchuriki in the Chunin exams, just for the leader to need to capture them years later. And also, imagine if Rain Ninja hadn't made it to the finals of the Chunin exam. Imagine Pain pulling up to watch the finals, like how Orochimaru pulled up as the Kazekage. Sasuke did not have that dog in him, yet at least, and Kabuto knew it. He told Sasuke, look, if you were really about that life, you would have just taken the stroll and attacked me and not asked me to fight. That's what a real ninja would have done. It's okay, Sasuke, you not like that. But one thing we can say is that the idea of being a savage was there, it just wasn't at its true potential yet. But then Kabuto agrees to help them get another scroll. But then we find out that he actually just wanted to collect information about them. This was a crazy fake out. They really had us thinking that Sakura was putting in work, like finally the character development from the haircut is coming through, like she's helping the team and all that. Like, look at this move. This was a pretty impressive move for Sakura. But then we just find out that this was actually Naruto and his clones. So instead of Sakura getting some credit finally in battle and combat, nope, Naruto gets even more credit now and it all goes to him. This is crazy, man. This is crazy. If there's one thing this series is going to do, it's going to tell you how each character feels during some downtime. And that's one of the things that I do kind of enjoy about it. They don't leave you guessing about different characters and their perspectives, even if they're side characters. Like the most random one for this scene was 1010 saying that Kakashi beats Might Guy in the looks department.
While Neji is not thinking about them whatsoever, he's thinking about the competition. Is this a Chunin exam's plot hole? Kabuto's sensei in the Chunin exams is really a mystery. If he was from the Leaf Village, why would he recommend a spy? Not only one spy, but a group of spies, 3 of them. But when you look deeper into this character, you see that he was on Ango's team when she took the Chunin exam, which means that he was also a student of Orochimaru. And we see him helping out the Leaf Village later on in the Shippuden anime. I think the most realistic interpretation of this is that his loyalty was very much shaky during OG Naruto. Perhaps he knew they were spies, but he slipped through the investigations because we found out that Kabuto was a spy so much later on, after all the chaos was happening. But hey, who knows? Do you remember when Kabuto quit the Chunin exam? They said he quit the exam 6 times already. Now I'm even more confused as to if his sensei was a spy as well, or just unaware. Also, Kabuto being a spy for so long does give credence to the idea that Mizuki was also a spy for Orochimaru, even in episode 1. And also, if you're wondering what Kabuto was talking about when he said that he doesn't want his old self to get riled up, it was this moment right here. We can see in his face that he really wanted to just let go and just get those guys. I don't care what anyone says, this Orochimaru design is so fire, bro. Like, this look would really be a good base form Orochimaru before he gets evil form. Like, before he really let the experiments get to his head and before he betrayed the Leaf, this is how he should have looked. And then afterward, when he really goes full evil, then he starts to change in his appearance. And yeah, I do need to bring it up. How in the world did they not know that this was Orochimaru? There's so many context clues. Like, he literally told Anko, hey, I have students that are participating. Man, let's be honest, Sasuke needed Naruto and Sakura during this moment. Let's break this down. It's only because Naruto was yelling such encouraging words that he looked over and saw Rock Lee. And the next thing we see is plagiarism. Yeah, it turns out he needed Rock Lee too. But then, of course, the curse mark starts affecting him again. But of course, the only thing that helps him is the thought of Sakura. Her influence was so powerful, the anime went manga for like 2 seconds. And then with more influence from Naruto, he is able to fight back the curse mark and handle business. Listen, I'm not saying that Sasuke isn't cool. All I'm saying is that Naruto and Sakura and Rock Lee definitely helped him here. They did the Sound Ninja dirty. Like, these are Orochimaru's first henchmen, and they aren't very fleshed out beyond what we see here. Zaku is the only one who actually gets a flashback. We don't know anything about Kin, and Dosu's character is more focused on what's going on in the present, really. Because I do feel like they could have developed their characters beyond the Chunin exams. Instead, they went the route of just being merely pawns in Orochimaru's plans, and that's it. But then again, how do you bring Sound Ninja to the Chunin exams, and only one of them makes it to the finals? Orochimaru had some nerve stepping to Kakashi like this. He basically went to him and said, hey buddy, this is gonna be my student now, okay? You can't protect him forever. And he was right. It was literally the old teacher versus the new teacher. And it was so serious that Kakashi had to bring out his most powerful jutsu that we've seen so far. That was what he used against the other villain, Zabuza. And Orochimaru was not scared at all. And also, he says that last time they saw each other, he didn't have the Sharingan. That's not what the anime filler says. So plot hole, or he just didn't remember it correctly. This might be controversial, but I think that Sakura's moment in the forest where she cut her hair is better than most of this fight with Ino. They really rushed Kankuro's fight for this. I just really don't enjoy the, oh, they're holding back and they're doing a little bit of taijutsu. No, make them competent kunoichi, come on. This is the second arc of the series. Give Sakura a signature jutsu, please. And then the whole, oh, the headband goes across my forehead when I'm a real shinobi. Like, no, the character design is better the other way, okay? Did you know that this is one of the longest fights in the Chunin exams preliminaries? Hayate literally says that the fight is going on for 10 minutes, and that was only halfway through the fight. Naruto's fight and Rock Lee's fight might have been longer, but I'm not even sure. And I said it for Sasuke, so I'm gonna say it for Sakura. She only tied with this fight because of Naruto's words of encouragement. But now that this fight is out of the way, Sakura's character is ready to take on new challenges and explore her character in a deeper way, right? Right? We know what happens with that. Do you remember when Ken used Gen Z lingo? No, I'm serious. It's almost like this episode was made recently. During the fight, she thinks she has Shikamaru cornered, so she says this.
You could. You wouldn't know which one of us to throw your shadow at. Face it, you're cooked, little man. I'm gonna cook you nice and slow over.
She said he's cooked. Ken might have even made that phrase up, to be honest with you. Like, that's it. Ken is Gen Z. She's Gen Z. They might as well have played the sound effect after as well. What's crazy about the Naruto and Kiba fight is the fact that usually the viewer has to wait until the last round of the tournament for the main character to have their fight. But this time it's different, and we know why. The real main event is Rock Lee and Gaara. But this fight is still significant because when I was watching it, I was wondering why everyone was so surprised that Naruto can actually be competent. But then I realized that they didn't see him in the Land of Waves arc. They didn't see him progress and get better. So this battle was also a way for the other characters to see the progression that Naruto had made. This part of the fight is a bit frustrating because why did Kiba stop? Yes, Naruto transformed into Kiba, but you still knew that you and Akamaru were doing your attack. You just continue your attack. Don't stop. Why do you get so confused because you saw yourself? Why? Like, if we slow it down, you will see that he's the only one in the smoke. That is Naruto. Just keep attacking, bro. Kiba's IQ must be super low. One of the things that I do like is the fact that Naruto was willing to take the hit just to confuse Kiba and get an advantage. Do you remember when Naruto's wound healed quickly here? Does that even make any sense? Orochimaru blocked off Naruto's access to the Nine Tails chakra. So should he still be able to access the healing property? And not only access it, but have it work immediately. Even if you were to say, oh, he wasn't cut off completely from the Nine Tails, it was just not mixing properly. Okay, but still, his healing factor working that well still is wild to me. When a girl likes a guy, she usually adopts his lingo, the way he talks. And of course, I know all about that, you know? The same goes for Hinata. She already was using the word Nindo and Ninja Way, and she won't give up, to the point where she stood up again after getting beat up so bad, and then she got really upset, and then got to a point to where she started doing talk no jutsu to him, claiming that Neji's actually the one who has an issue. Now, why did she say that? It took 4 Jonin to dramatically stop him from going after her. Do you remember this flashback? Yo, Rock Lee had hang time, bro. Like, he had his ponytail, even while training. Somebody at home was doing his hair for real. And then it's also nice to see that I think every team does the whole, hey, so what are your goals while you're being a ninja? And also, this is the first time we hear about Tsunade. So we hear about Orochimaru first, then Tsunade, and then Jiraiya. But what happened to Tamari's, like, interest in being like Tsunade? Another plot point mentioned, but never explored one bit. This might not be canon, but in my head canon, the Chunin exams can be split into 2 parts. The beginning of the exams all the way up to the Rock Lee and Gaara fight, and I guess the Choji and Dosu fight. And then everything after that would be the second half of the Chunin exams. Because the Rock Lee and Gaara fight is like the final fight of an arc. The animation changes. There's a crazy power boost, and there's an emotional weight to it as well. So yeah, it really could fit as a grand finale of an arc, to be honest. Okay, some of y'all were right. Orochimaru does claim that Kabuto was his right-hand man in the Chunin exams. But it's still weird because there's this whole tension between them. Because Orochimaru says, hey, let's get Sasuke away from Naruto. He has an influence over him, right? But then we see that Kabuto has 2 options. Abduct Sasuke or go against Orochimaru's orders and get rid of Sasuke for good. But it's like, why is that an option? Where is this tension between them coming from? Is it the mistrust from being Sasori's spy? And well, that'll be all for this retrospective. If you guys have any thoughts that you want to share, comment them down below and make sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you like the content and want to see more of these retrospectives. Like I said, this was a very ambitious arc. We get so many more elements in this arc. We get a tournament with a bunch of new characters from other villages and the Leaf Village. We get a villain that is infiltrating the tournament. And then we have a storyline about one of our main characters turning evil. All while developing Naruto himself and seeing his progress and growth, as well as amazing fights throughout the entire arc. The next retrospective will be on the Chunin exams finals. As I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. Definitely subscribe. And yeah, have a good one.